Well, this year's Kentucky Derby was a tale of never give up and a reminder to finish strong. So after running dead last, Golden Tempo made a stunning drive to win it all on Saturday. And the thrilling victory not only put Cherie DeVaux in the winner's circle, but also in the history books. She is now the first and only woman to train the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby.
Woo!
And Cherie joins us now. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So what I love about, first of all, there's so much I love about your story, including your reaction as Golden Tempo made its way to the finish line. But I also love that you just started this stable, is that what they call it, 8 years ago?
Right, right.
That's even, let's put aside that you're in the history books for being the first woman trainer to win a Kentucky Derby. Just to me, that seems unprecedented as well.
So impressive.
It does. It actually doesn't seem like it has taken, I don't want to say that long. The first 3 years were really slow to get started, kind of like Golden Tempo. And but we're here, and you know, this industry and being a horse trainer, it's a lifestyle, not just a job. So it's a lot, and there's a lot of great things. There's a lot of not so great things. So we just try to keep that balance.
And you didn't just win, you also made history, right? Only 17 women have trained a Derby horse over the past 151 years. That is wild. You are the first woman to do that. I mean, how does that feel?
Well, I've always just said I'm a horse trainer that happens to be female. And I really tried to think about what that meant now that we've won the Kentucky Derby. And it's an honor, honestly, to just be that person that other women, young girls can look up to. And, you know, we are underrepresented in the industry, and I'm not sure why, but hopefully that changes.
With you, yes.
Yeah, with you for sure. So can we talk about Golden Tempo?
Yes.
What kind of what's his temperament? What's he like? What is he not like? Like, just give us a sense of
So
who
he
is
like a really cool, calm customer, which 3-year-olds, 2-year-old, 3-year-old horses, colts, they can be very rambunctious. There's like a locker room full of young kids, if you can imagine that, teenage boys. So they're a little bit mischievous, but he's got such a great personality, and I think that's one of his biggest attributes. He's obviously an elite athlete, but his personality is, you know, it kind of takes it all in. The hoopla of the Derby, there's 150,000 people, fans, and didn't turn a hair, and then after the race, he likes to sleep a lot, so he took a big nap. And
don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. And so he was happy to greet everyone, and some fans came and took pictures with him, and he didn't take anyone's arm off, which can definitely be the case with a lot of them.
You know, this is such a wild and unpredictable sport in so many ways. Were there any parts of this journey for you that were surprising that people wouldn't know about?
Well, I tell people that it took me 11 months to win my first race, and I was one of the main assistant trainers for the top barn in this country. So I went from having, you know, that adrenaline rush and having purpose, and then it's like 11 months I'm sitting around. We were racing, but it's just like second, third, and then you finally win the race. So it was just like, felt like a weight had been lifted off.
So I mentioned earlier to you, maybe during the break, that the story of you like starting your own stable 8 years ago and then winning the Kentucky Derby is amazingly cool. But I didn't also know that you switched careers. You went from training, you became a doctor.
I did not become I started my college career in pre-med. I wanted to have a life that afforded horses, because they're not cheap.
Right.
So I was going to school to be a physical therapist, and my parents, we started off in New York, and then we moved to Florida, and then they went back, and I followed them. And so this kind of just happened. This wasn't a linear journey. I started walking horses. It's called a hot walker. That's the very...
Okay, love that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I consider myself a bit of a hot walker.
You put your hot and hot walker. And then I have ridden horses my whole life, and I wanted to learn how to exercise the horses. That's an exercise rider, and then that evolved into being an assistant trainer, and that's a hard job. Those are the assistant trainers and the grooms are the first ones in the barn and the last ones to leave. And I did that for quite some time, and I met my husband, and I wanted a bit more out of life, and He really talked me into being a trainer.
Wow. Is he involved in the? What does he do?
So my husband is what's called a bloodstock agent. So he buys
a what?
Bloodstock agent.
All of this lingo is
it's awesome.
blowing my mind.
Bloodstock agent.
Bloodstock agent. So he recruits horses. He buys. He sells. He puts matings on. And then he manages stables of horses. And his most important job is now managing me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But he is one of the. I'm partial, but he is one of the most successful and talented bloodstock agents. He bought 2 key horses that one is Zenyatta, who had run many years ago. It's about 19 years ago. And then he recently bought Flightline, and he recruited those horses, Flightline, when he was a foal. So he saw the talent in him.
What a dream team.
Yeah, can I just ask, so now going back to Golden Tempo, if I understand correctly, now every stable in America is going to be like, you said he's a rambunctious teenager.
Right.
He's about to get busy, right?
Well, eventually, yes. So his first order of business is he has to finish his career out as a racehorse, and we'll let him dictate that. We put our horses first, and their health and safety and their happiness first, and then hopefully he'll evolve into being a stallion.
But does this, the amount of money that would normally be paid to you for that opportunity, that goes up now because he's the winner?
Right, yes, the value goes up. And stallions, developing stallions, it's not, you get one Kentucky Derby winner and a handful of horses that can go on and have that to where they can reproduce. So, it's an honor to have one that of his caliber.
So is it up to him to race at the Preakness, or up to you?
It's up to him.
Okay.
So he's going to negate the final decision. We have to see how they by design get a couple rest days. So he gets back to the track on Wednesday, and then we'll see how his energy level is, and hopefully we'll have an answer at least by the end of the week.
You get Dr. Doolittle in there and just
exactly.
ask how he's doing.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks so much, Cherie. Congratulations.
This is so great.
So great
Thank
to have
you so
you
much
on.
for coming by.
Thanks so much for having me.